All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to uh, this video is called balance beam of the COVID-19 with all the cases. Um, as you can see, what's different in this video is I'm not wearing a toque on my head to keep my ears warm, but I'm only doing it just for that. Um, So anyway, the point is, while I kind of understand what's going on here, the cases are going to, well, there's a slight chance that the cases can be up or down or what it's going to do. The problem is that we have to try to identify of what's going to happen. Every single case is accumulates because the cases are going up. And we want to let the cases to go down a lot. But how can we? That's a good question. How can we? And we have to try our best of trying to understand how it is, right? It's not all fun and games, really. It's not. But there's a time and there's a place where we all have to consider on how we're going to do. Okay. For instance, if we believe in the COVID-19 cases and it's a balance beam, we have to balance it. Balancing is actually a balancing act, and we have to balance the two. If we don't balance it, then the cases will actually be up, right? It's kind of like walking on a balance beam. We're going from the start, middle, and end. Okay, and there's three sections. Three. The first one is that where we are in the first. Okay, the first. If we look at the pandemic, we were in the first stage. The first, because the virus was here, and then there was no vaccine. Okay, if you remember that from last year. Now, when you think about this here, we are in the middle right now, which means we have vaccine and we still have that virus that's out there. But how can we balance it? That's a good question. So we have to know our own skills to figure this out. Okay, and we have to consider it as a good way of thinking things in a good way. Okay. What I meant is that we have to figure this out. Okay. Now, if I did the tarot, for instance, the tarot could to give me something in some form. Okay, I will do that in the video at some point in this one, and stay tuned for that. But the point being is that we have to balance it. We have to. If we don't balance it, then we are into a collapse. And collapse is like very, very huge collapse. It's kind of like you're going on a ski hill and you're skiing and you're going all the way down the hill, but you can't stop. Right? That's what the cases are. The cases are, reboosting, which means going up and up and up and up and up. But sometimes the cases could drop, right? And last time I was seeing the cases that low, like 487, That was the lowest that I have seen. That's why when we look at this in a good way of thinking, we have to know and we have to try. Trying is one thing, but knowing is the other, right? We have to. Give me 1 second. But we have to acknowledge that. We have to. Now the cards that I just have in my hands is the tarot. Okay? So while you can see my face a little bit, we have to see what's going to happen. Okay. Now let's say, for example, Tarot, give me some advice about the COVID-19 cases. Why they're going up? What's the problem to find the solution? That's a good question right there. And these cards can be upright or reversed at the same time. So let me try to put them in shape form. Okay, so we have that, and we have that. Okay, we just have to look at these two down here. Put that there, and then I got the book. So we have the Nine of Swords upright. We have the Knight of Swords reversed, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune represents good luck. If it's reversed, it's bad luck. So the Wheel of Fortune is good luck. That's awesome. Now, but the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Swords reversed, I have to check those out. So I have to read. It says, in a Nine of Swords, it says, you're weighed down by dark thoughts and disturbing feelings. Worry, despair, anxiety are keeping you up at night. The more you associate with your fears, the more they will rule your life. Reach out for help. Yes, reach out for help. That's the main thing in this problem. Reach out for help. And what that means is that in that shape or form is that we have to acknowledge that. Okay, we have to acknowledge that. Because if we need help, we need help. Okay? That's the main thing. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, that means good luck on our side. These two. Okay? These two. Because if we look at that in that way, in that perspective of this COVID-19 stuff, the cases, we have good luck. If everybody helps out, those cases can drop. And if we have help, the vaccine is all those people who are elderly and kind of going down the line. That means that hopefully these two, if we have luck and we have help at the same time, then we can get this show on the road, which means those cases can drop instantly. The COVID-19 cases. If they keep going up, then the people are not getting it. So if you agree to it, you agree to it. Okay? But it's not over yet in my planetory. Okay? Now, the Knight of Swords reversed. I'm going to read that. And let's see what it says in the book. Knight of Swords reversed. Quick action has turned to impulsiveness, later regret. Look before you leap, think before you act. Your ambitious energy may be overwhelming and off-putting to others. So basically it says look before you leap. Yes, look before you leap. That's the main problem in this whole entire dynamic of this COVID-19 stuff. Look before you leap. If you don't look and you don't leap, leap means hop from that standpoint. If we hop over it, we are hopping over it. But if you have a tiny hop, you could fall and fell at the same time. So, in that regard, we have the Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, to look before you leap. We need help, as in the Nine of Swords. And we have luck inside. Okay, so if we look at those three cards, that's what we have in this whole entire situation here. We have to look at things in a different way. We have to look at things in a different way. How I can say that is that we have to acknowledge that. Okay, we have to acknowledge that, because if we don't acknowledge it, then how can we balance the two, right? So when I look at the Wheel of Fortune, it's a good strategy, which means we have luck on our side, and that's good. But if the Wheel of Fortune was turning into a reverse card, right? That's basically means that reverse, and reverse means bad luck. And if we had bad luck on our side, well then yeah, and that's not good, right? So we have a toss and turns scenario, because we have to acknowledge it into the same way. It's like helping a friend out and helping another friend out. But how can you do both? You have to help one friend, and then you have to help another friend out, right? And that's actually good luck, right? Now, for instance, that friend on this side and this friend on this side need your help. Reach out for help. So basically, that friend will help you. You know what I mean? And the Knight of Swords. Look before you leap. So if your friend hops a bigger jump and you do a smaller one, you can fail and fall at the same time. If you make a bigger jump, you can make it on the other side, right? So you have to. So in those cards that I'm trying to describe here, in this COVID-19 balancing being act kind of thing, we have to do that, right? It's not all fun and games. It's not. You think about it, oh, it's fun. No, it's not, right? And if you were asking him, why do you need games for? Basically, you're not getting the whole entire darn picture. So in that regards, is that we have to know that we have to identify it. Now, the more cards I have, the better the picture will be. Okay, so look at the picture right now. Now look at this that I brought. The spiritual animal cards. This is what we're going to do. So balancing beam for COVID-19 cases. What's good for represent this? So we have that. Okay, cards there. This card represents the day, the beaver. It says do your chores. Basically, we do chores every single day, but in that respect of doing chores, if we look at what the beaver is doing, I want to read to see what does the beaver say. So we have to go to the beaver in the book, and it says, so activity is look around the house and find one or two chores to do that contribute to the upkeep of the home. Do them before you have even asked. Then, number 2, to finish something you started but had put aside, like writing a story or doing an art project. Whenever you are doing any of your chores, try to do them graciously and with a slight smile on your face, knowing you are helping others. That's a good rhythm there, which means in that regards about doing your chores and help others out, which means in this state point that I'm trying to describe right here is that we have to balance. We have to have a balancing beam of the COVID-19 cases. That's what we are trying to do. If the more cases are up like this, the cases can go down. But the longer that they're going up, that curve is going up. And the longer that curve is going up, the longer we're not going down, right? And that's why when we look at the Wheel of Fortune card, we need luck on our side. We need luck, we need help, and we need to look before we leave. Okay? Those are the 3 cards that I'm representing right there. Okay? Now, it's not over yet. We're trying to describe the picture to you. Okay? So we have this on our side. Okay? We have that. Now, let's try and do something else. Let's try to see what God's telling. This is pretty good, isn't it? Yes, it's not over yet. So, alright. So tell me something about the COVID-19 cases of the Balancing Beam Act. What can you tell me, God, in your words? Alright. It says, thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. 12:30. So basically, God wants us to basically praise to Him, as you can see, and we have Him in our soul and with all our mind, which means that if God can turn this around, as He can, because we live in a planet where He is creator of the God, creator of the planet. Anyway, the point being is that if we have Him and we have luck on our side, with the Wheel of Fortune there, as you can see there, He's gonna help. He's going to help, because all the Christians out there, even if you're non-Christian or Christian, whatever it is, Basically, God's going to keep us going with this. He can help every single Christian out there to praise Him, have the prayers, everything else, and receive. He is going to have the resistance of the COVID-19, those cases to drop. Anytime soon, it will drop. It will. So, in that regards, is that we have a bigger picture here. We started with the 3 cards, then we have the beaver, then we have the Jesus card. Okay? So in that regards, that's what Jesus is telling us. We have to believe in this whole entire scenario, this bigger picture. Right? If we don't look at the picture, then what the heck are we doing? Right? So this is not over yet. It almost is, but wait, okay? Now we have the lady that's sad in despair. Okay? So basically she wants help. She has luck, she has God, she's doing chores, and then she has to look before she leaves. That means to jump. So I'll do one more. So what's the opposite of 9 of Swords of the COVID-19 cases for a bouncing being, as I can say? Alright, let's see. The 5 of Pentacles reversed. That's interesting. So now I'm going to read what does it say. The 5 of Pentacles reversed is difficult times are coming to an end, particularly if you have recently suffered a major financial or job loss. You may find new resources of income, a new job, or someone will offer to help you out. Basically, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Someone will help you out. So, we have help. This is like help at the same time. Well, look before you leave. That's one card. But that's a good measure. The lady and that card. Okay? So, we have that. And we have luck on our side. And we have look before you leave. That's big picture. And we have, in that regards, we have the beaver, and we have what God is telling us. Oops. What's God telling us with the beaver card? So it's like, see how the bigger picture is? That's what we are going to do. We're halfway through. You're halfway. It's just we have to get through the months ahead from January, February, March, April, May, June. Then the other half will be July, August, September, October, November, December. Right? So that's what we are going to do. But before we do that, is that we have to know who's doing this. Okay? In that regards. Because when we see the bigger picture, we see the bigger picture. That's what it is. Okay? Now, if I added these cards to it, I want to see who's doing it. So what's the opposite of, let's see, the 5 of Pentacles reversed? Please tell me about the COVID-19 cases for a balancing act. And who's doing it? So we have to, that's when we're using the playing card to see what we have. And then this is going to be a full picture. We have the Jack of Spades. So in that regards, we'll use this as my way to do it. Just give me 1 second here. Let me try to figure this out. Okay, where is the... Okay, the spades represents, okay, so spades represents fall and winter, and the power of darkness in the tarot. They symbolize intellect, action, air, and death. So we have, so the Jack of Spades represents, in this card, it's reversed to you, but upright to me, because it looks upside down. Yeah, it still does. Anyway, in that regards, it says we are into fall and winter, so it's still acting like winter, and the power of darkness. We know who, we know why. I always know for sure, but when we have all the cards that I'm describing here, when we look at the Jack of Spades, the Jack of Spades represents the power of darkness. The power of darkness represents that, well, in the tarot, it's the evil spirit. He goes around, prowls around like a lion to someone to devour and to be his minion. So anyway, when I describe to you this whole entire dynamic, okay, we have to believe that we can take this COVID-19 down. But the cases are still rising a lot. There is a 50-50 balance because we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is good luck. That's great. But there is a 50-50 chance of we're going to win or we're going to lose. If we win, the cases will drop. And the more cases that they drop, the more people will, pass away. And that would be, and the Jack of Spades represents that. Okay. Now, there is a 50-50 chance where we have bad luck on our side, which means the cases will go up. The longer that they stay up, the longer our curve is going to go up. I understand, and I apologize for what I'm doing with all the cards that I'm kind of describing. But I just want to say that we have to believe in order to take this down. Because it's a balancing act. It is. Because we have to balance the two. We have balancing. One is like where we look at Jesus and he's going to be receiving our prayer, and then our prayers are going to be answered. If we look at the other side, what I'm doing being his minion, I'm kind of like doing it the opposite, where I try to do everything I can to acknowledge that I met him before, and I understand that I know that he prowls around like a lion. He doesn't scare me. Why? Because I do have a coin that I received, and I'll show it to you on the camera. So this is the coin I received. Let me show you. This coin, there we go. This coin was actually the year of 2006. And it's made in Canada, as you can see. But the coin that I actually believe in, that, yeah, the only one who gave it to me in the past 2 years ago, 2019, because we're in the year of 2021, so it's about 2 years ago. Anyway, this coin that the evil spirit gave it to me. In that regards is that basically he, well, whenever I mention his name, he shows up during the night, late night, like between 12 in the morning or 1, sometimes 1:30, 1:45 in the morning, sometimes. But that's what I kind of do. I don't call myself well, I don't know. It's hard to describe. Being like a medium, which means I talk to spirits. That's all I can say. Okay, and that's what I am actually, because I have seen him, and I have seen another spirit that was with him, and this other spirit was orange. And the orange spirit is basically, I think that was probably Jesus. And I think those two are basically, yes, they are already passed away, but they were here before us, right? We are basically, we are in the creator of what God is telling me. With this coin that I'm showing you right now, the ribbon represents the Cancer Association for people who have cancer, like brain cancer, breast cancer, all those things. But this coin, this really coin that I have in my hand, that's why the evil spirit gave it to me. If I didn't have the coin, okay, if I didn't have this coin to be received, I would be not doing the tarot stuff. I would believe in Jesus. But when I look at the evil spirit's name on the internet, I actually researched and read and everything else about him. And then basically, when I said something about a coin, I didn't know it was him, David Spirit. I thought it could be Jesus. But Jesus did not even give it to me, because he gave me this. He gave it to me at 4 in the morning. I was sleeping, but when I woke up, he basically put it into a black bag that is it has a zipper on it. And then after that, I closed the zipper. I basically went to bed. From there, here the spirit came through a window, very astonishing. Then it just said, flapping its wings back and forth, because I need to get cold air, because I was so hot, well, so warm, sorry. And then after that, I basically look at the window, but then look at him. Let it spook the heck out of him. So anyway, he basically put it in the carry-on bag that I had, and then basically I left the zip. And a few minutes later, I hear it unzip. I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of weird. I'm hearing it unzipping. Well, bags don't unzip themselves. You use your hand and you unzip it. So here I am, so stunned like this. Saying, what the? So anyway, he was doing unzipping. Then a few minutes later, he vanished. Kind of like that. Then a few minutes later, he basically took off. Then around 4 in the morning, I got up. I unzipped, and I found basically this coin. And I'm thinking, wow. So yeah, the evil spirit does exist. He does. I'm not trying to scare a lot of my viewers. I don't want to. But that's how I'm trying to do this as my own way to figure this out. There's so different ways where we have to believe and not believe, right? But there's I'm not going to say there's karma, but there's lots of karma when you hear the news and when you hear the Washington Capitol getting all rioted and all this stuff, and it's coming from the United States and all this stuff, right? But let's not go back and forth with it. Let's not. We have to. When I see the Lord in the picture, in Mark 12:30, with all your soul and with all your mind, right? The only one that is inside me is my soul. But I have, when everything is not going my situation, where I feel down or sad or mad or angry or anything like that, basically, I'm not acting like myself. I'm not. But there's a time and there's a place where I meditate. I meditate, I sing, I basically stay positive as much as I can and have peace with Jesus Christ. But sometimes it rarely is him, because he has so many 1 million followers or billion, and David Spirit has billion followers. If we look at the two, how can we balance it, right? We go back to that question. When we go back to the COVID-19 that people want to talk about the cases and why they're going up and not going down, because the other half of people who are basically don't stay home, they go out. They go out every day. They go shopping. They go to work. They go everything. They wear a mask, everything else. But if the person is positive, all those people will test positive, and then basically those cases will rise, and then the deaths will rise at the same time. And the more the people that rise, the more of the COVID-19 cases rise, we are not going to be into the cases will drop. There is a time and there's a place that we can all participate in God in some shape or form. In some shape or form, okay? Because I believe that if I can make this be like God's helper, Jesus Christ's helper, I'm trying to do the best as I can, where people can follow me, subscribe to my channel, whatever is happening to them, because there is, I always say that there's a time and there's a place. If you want to know what time and what place, there is a time where you can pray to the Lord, maybe in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Then that prayer that you have will go straight to heaven, up, up into the sky. Then after that, you just wait and wait and wait, and then you receive the prayer from Him. He'll answer the prayer, and it goes back to you, where He's going to help you. That's why when I look at the coin, okay, as you can see, that was my prayer. I had to pray for coin. I needed the coin because I wanted to know if I'm doing a good job on this stuff that I'm doing, which means doing fortune telling, doing the cards, doing the reading, everything else that I have to do. Because, like I say, I am like a child of God. Okay, I was born with Him. I went to church every single day through my younger years. Now, when I got older, it's time to change the routine, where I think about God every single time, but I'm doing the opposite, right? And the opposite is like being a helper to, well, the evil spirit. I understand that people don't want me to do the evil spirit stuff, but it's my choice, okay? I know that I don't go to church very often because I don't want to get a fine, right? And a fine means money, okay? And I don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself in that place. I have to look at things in a different way. I have to look at things in a different way, like positive. If I think about the positive, I can stay to it. If I look at the negative, you're going to be there for another 6 weeks. And then you can't get out the negative. I have been there. I have been there. And it's not very good. Okay. When I had negative inside me for the past 6 weeks, before the year of 2021 hit, I basically felt I was lonely, no friends to hang out with, nothing. I was the only one that was playing cards by myself, and I had my friends that are older than me, like seniors. They tell me stuff back in the day when I was even born. But I go there and see them. There is a routine where I just wash my hands, have to wear a mask, all the stuff that I needed to do. But when I think about this six weeks ago, and I was in a negative place, I had to try to get myself out of it. I was walking into a staircase. The staircase kept going down, 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 down into like a dark basement without a light. And I don't know where I am. I'm in a basement, but there's no light. How can I find it? right? That's why when I look at the Nine of Swords, I was like being this lady, feeling sad, feeling paranoid, feeling regret, feeling despair. I had to reach out for help. And help is good because I had a friend and he helped me a lot. But we have to look at things in a different way. I always tell my viewers that. We have to look at things in a different way. If we don't look at things in a different way, then how can we help God in some way? That's a good that's a good word. How can we help God in some way? Right? We do have the vaccines, we do. But I haven't yet. I haven't got the vaccine yet because I'm into that category, the younger that category. Between the 30s, close to 20s, around there. But I'm not there yet, right? But when you look at all these people who have the vaccine, like seniors and all that, I like congratulate them because they got it first, right? And they have to survive too. Because if a senior got sick, then so be it. He's gonna go up and never come back, right? But I'm not gonna look at that. I'm not looking at that. That's a sad way. That's a negative step, right? That's why I have to look at things in this way, which means the positive way, right? That's why when you look at the Wheel of Fortune card, that means that we have luck on our side. We have luck in our side. When we look at the Five of Pentacles reversed, it means that someone will help. Someone will offer to help. That's great. You know, we don't know who that someone is. It could be a woman, a man, maybe God. But we have to look at things in that category. We have to balancing it. It's like a balancing act. We have to balance the two. We have to balance the two. You know. Just give me 1 second. Just drinking coffee. Good coffee. Anyway, back to my own speech here. But anyway, yeah, because we have to look at things in a different way. If I was saying to you about the tarot, let's say someone was scared about me talking about it. Well, how can I put it into a different way? Well, then there is a choice where I do have the Holy Bible with me. I have that. So that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. If I look at another direction, I'm using the tarot as a tool, which means it would guide me through this whole entire, like kind of like the pandemic situation. We're on an island, and we don't have any tools to survive on the island. We only have a house. We only have a fire pit. We have everything except for food. How can we get it? How can we receive that? Right? And we don't want to get paranoid, regret, or anything. We need help. Right? And we need luck on our side. And we can't, look before you leap. Right? So we have to look at that in a different direction. We have to look at that, right? That's why when I try to look at things in a different way, like me getting this this coin again, as you can see, is where when we look at that coin, it's like my viewers will say, "Oh my God, where you got that coin? Oh my God, why are you saying? Oh my God, why he's?" Those are the questions that you have to try to look at that, right? I understand that this is a real thing of the whole entire situation. When I look at God's view in how He put us on earth, He wants us to follow Him as much as we can. I'm looking at Him in two different ways. One is like I'm helping God out so that people can, look at my videos and hear me out. And two, I'm looking at what the evil spirit is doing. He's doing chaos around the world. He's doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. And then he's playing chess with Jesus. What's the point about that? Well, chess is competition. You want to defeat your opponent. And you have to think about strategy. And in order to win chess is where you start from the beginning and work to the end. You go from one end and you go from the other end, which means here's one side of the chessboard, here's the other. You go from here and you go here. Then you go here, you go here. Once when they're close, smack like that. That's what chess is. That's what the whole entire pandemic of COVID-19 is, where the virus is going from one person, one person, one person, one person, one person, one person. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. So, in that regards, we have to look at things in a different way. We have to. Because chess is good for competition. That's good. But there is a side effect of that. When you win chess, you triumph. Means that you have victory, right? That's what this card means if it's an upright. It's victory, but it's not. It's reversed. Okay, and when we win, we win, right? That's why the COVID-19 and virus and everything else, it's a whole entire chessboard, which means we have to defeat the opponent. And when we look at the Jack of Spades in this hand, in this card, it says the power of darkness. We know who it is. That's why I'm doing this at some point. Okay, that's why I kind of describe it to you. But there's a diagram or digraph I'm trying to figure out in my mind. Is that if we just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, we can get to the other side quickly. That's why we have the balance. That's why we have to perceive with caution, right? Avoid danger, right? But in my defense, is like who in the chess game in heaven? The evil spirit. Who caused COVID-19? The evil spirit. Who's making chaos around the world? Evil spirit. Right? And who gave me this coin? Evil spirit. Right? And who we have to follow? Jesus. Who have to pray for? Jesus. Who's going to help us? Jesus. 3 and 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? That's why we have to believe in Him. We have luck on our side. Put that in your mind, in your brain, everything else. And trust in God. Help Him. Have help with Him. Pray to Him every single day. Morning, afternoon, evening. I always tell you that. Do your chores. Well, you know what I mean, right? Do something that can make time go fast. What else? You have the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. Have Him with you at all costs. What else am I going to say? Oh yes. Look before you leap. No, wait. Someone will help you with an offer. Do you see the bigger picture now? If you have any questions and comments, please, I'd like to know if you are getting this whole entire picture. If you do, great. If you don't, I'll try to answer your questions perfectly. Anyway, before I let you all go, there's one thing that you have to learn. Believe in Jesus. Believe in Him as much as you can. In order you can believe, we can get this pandemic over with. Straighten out. Flatten it. Using it like a steamroller. Flat. Make it smooth. Whatever it is. We have to believe in Him in so different ways. I understand that all my viewers want to go to church. I get that. Sometimes they want to, don't want to go to church. Okay, then have yourself a home church. Stay home. That's what I call it. Stay home, read the Bible, maybe sing some verses. Then after that, then read and pray. That's how I do it. And then after that, then once when you're done with that, then just wait. And wait. And wait. If you can't wait, you're being impatient. Don't do that. Being impatient, I did that before. And I know that we can get through this to an end. Like I say, we have luck on our side. We have help. We have everything else. We have to believe in God in so many ways. And I just want to say thanks. Thanks to all my viewers who are watching this program. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.